Welcome back to Chaos Lands, and today I will program obstacles into the world so that the world is not that empty, and at the moment there's just the demon, the own team, and one other team that I just inserted. First we copy the code from the last world generator and just paste it, because this code still works fine. So I will copy this code and move it upwards to the other code that already exists, and let's try if it compiles. And there's an error because we insert the lava position as a vector, but it's not a vector, it's just a variable. So let's check where we use the lava position and just replace the brackets with lava pose. And also lava pose has to be a flat position and not a CT position. So remember, a CT position is a position that includes the chunk position and the tile position, and the flat position just has one x and one y coordinate, and is not split up in two. So this can be translated into a flat position by using this function ct pose to flat, and this position can now be used in the function at the bottom. Obstacles should generate around the whole world. So for example, stones or trees, and for that we again use a two-dimensional loop in the x and y axis and check for the current tile. And if the current tile, for example, is water, we don't want to do anything. But if it's grass, then there should be a tree sometimes. For that, the same function is used to check the tile position and also to get the CT position. So we copy the CT position calculation and put it right under the loops. Then we want to check if the tile is a certain type, and therefore we use a switch statement, because different types should be checked. Remember, a switch statement is like multiple if statements behind each other, just that, but you don't have to compare each value. You just have to insert a value in the switch function and check if with the case statement if this is the case. For example, here we insert in the switch case in the switch statement the type, and then we write case and check if the current tile type is the given type. So first check if it's a dirt tile, and if it's a dirt tile we don't want to generate trees on every dirt tile. So first check if on this certain element we want to generate a tree, and we do that by calculating a random number again and checking if it's 0. And so there's a probability of 1 to 30 that the tree is generated at this spot. Then we use the generate obstacle explosion function to generate the obstacles, and therefore we also need the flat position again, and this is just the x and y coordinate, and we have to specify the team of the obstacle. This will just be plants because it's a tree, and the plants tree team contains every obstacle that belongs to the nature, and therefore just insert the plants team. And also we don't want to spawn stone houses, we want to spawn trees. And it works just as you would expect. On the dirt tiles sometimes there are trees, And on the other tiles there are no obstacles, and that's really nice. Also here you can see a team, and there's our team, and we can improve that because we have also other obstacles like stones or different kinds of trees. So let's keep going. Next, nutritious plants should also have trees and also furs. For that, I will copy the code from above and just insert a new case statement and a new case function. Therefore, we keep the tree spawning function and also create a fur spawning function and adjust the values a little bit so that there are not too many trees. And also here are brackets needed, and in the game now there are trees on the dirt as always. And if we can find the nutritious dirt, we can check if the furs work. Where is the nutritious dirt? There you can see that there are many furs and that there are really much obstacles, but I think that's okay. There's just the forest has just more trees than the other forest, so that should be fine. There was a bug that on the top side no tiles obstacles got generated because I wrote world size .y minus 80, but it should be minus 40 because it should just skip the pole. So that is fixed now. And also on sand, cactuses should be generated. So for that, just check if a sand tile is there, and in this case, and with a possibility of 1 to 30, a cactus should be generated. And as you can see, this works just fine. And what else should we do? Also, sand should, or the sand type should have some sand on it. So let's just copy this and do it again. As you can see, there are small sand blocks. There, you can't see them that easy, but they are indeed there. And that's nice. And also on the beaches, there are sometimes sand blocks, but that's fine for now. The next thing is that we want the trees only to spawn on nutritious dirt, and this is also true for the furs. So let's try it. As you can see, it doesn't work as you would expect, but I won't investigate at this problem now because other things are more important first. Stone should also be generated, but the problem with this stone is that we don't have a tile type that is associated with stones, or that we can associate with stone. So first, there are mountains, but onto the mountains there shouldn't be stones because you can't walk onto the mountains. So there has to be stone ground next to the mountains, and we could use the canyons, but that will thing for later. So first go back up to the functions where we place the lava hills and the canyons, because there we also we generate mountains. So we do something similar there, that we just say if there's a mountain, we want to generate a stone circle, and for that iterating through all x and y coordinates is again needed. Then we need the CT position again, and also we don't need the -40 inevitably. So here's the function that calculates the circles, and we just grab that and place it up here. Then we need the CT position again, and just grab this from above. So now if there's a mountain, we will place stone grounds on it, and onto this stone tiles there will be stones generated to be accessible in the world. There also has to be a check if you are on the mountain or not. So let's add this. And now if the tile type is a mountain and the x and y modular 10 is 0, so we are not doing it for every tile but for some, then stone should be generated, and inside the world the stone gets generated near the mountains. And now we can place stones on top of these stone tile. So we check if the tile is a stone tile, then stone should be generated. Also there are small and big stones, and there's a function that generates a big stone and also some small stones around that, and that's the function I just copied. The function has to be adjusted a little bit. So at the beginning we generate the big stone and store this position, and this will be just one stone. And previously the world generator worked a little bit different, that every stone got generated at the same time, but now we are looping through the through every tile, and that's a little bit different than before. So here we generate one stone, and say the stone spawn position is the position of the big stone at the position 0, and we will just generate one, so the 0 position will always have one element. So we say big stone at 0, and this should work fine. And now stones get generated, but they are not stones, they are just sand blocks, because I didn't edit this, I didn't change it, so this has to be done next. But at the moment there are some stones, and it looks really as you would expect. So nice work, and keep going. So we don't want to spawn sand, we want to spawn big stones. And also we don't want to generate 2 stones, we just want to generate 1 stone. And now there are sometimes stones on the stone tiles, as you would expect. And let's move this into a function so that it looks a little bit cleaner here at the top, and call it place obstacle big stone, and just paste this stuff here. And let's see what we have to insert into the function. First the flat position, and also the team. And if we insert this, it should work, and also change it in the .h file, in the header file. And now change the team that we used in the function. So the input function, the input parameter gets used, the team. And now we have to fill the function. It's at the bottom here. So we insert the flat position and the team. Here's the team, and the flat position is just pose flat. And now it should work. Those compositions of big stones and small stones should also be generated inside a desert. So also add this function into the sand case and also in the canyon case. And let's start by adding it to the sand case, so that in deserts big stones get generated, and there they are. So this works. Small stones should also be generated inside the dirt tiles, so that sometimes you don't need to find a stone biome, but just find a normal stone. So this is accomplished by just adding this function here and making the probability that a stone spawns really unlikely. And now stones get generated randomly inside the world. And that's it for the video. So thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it. Subscribe and leave a comment and like the video, and see us in the next video. Bye.